Today marks the 5-year anniversary, January 26, 2020, when the world lost Kobe Bryant, his daughter Gianna Bryant, and 7 others in a fatal helicopter crash in Calabasas outside of Los Angeles, California. And this is a tough day for not only the Laker community, the basketball community, but even us as an entire world community, as Kobe Bryant quite literally impacted millions of people across the world, introduced basketball to areas that weren't super familiar with it, and even here on U.S. soil and in North America as well. If you are new to the channel, this is Lakers Digest. We cover everything surrounding your Los Angeles Lakers. My name's Hunter Pitcoff. I am one of the hosts here. Normally, we have a lot more of an upbeat, positive, even if it's negative after a game. We have a lot more kind of that crazy energy we bring here to this channel. But, of course, today is going to be a very, very different type of video. However, since, like I said, guys, we talk about everything surrounding the Lakers. We don't try to dodge any sort of difficult conversations as well. And even me today wearing my Kobe shirt here, as well as you can also see behind me a poster that I keep in my apartment, and here on my makeshift at-home set, as we really, try to keep Kobe's legacy alive. Also, probably can't see it too well here, but I do have a Kobe tattoo there as well. So it's a tough day. This is a type of moment in history, and I say history, not even just basketball history, Laker history in general, where you almost kind of just remember where you were and what was going through your head when we heard the news on also a Sunday morning, or unless you're on a different type of time, but Sunday morning on local Los Angeles time when we had the news broke. And I also want to leave this open. Like I said, we are a community. We're a family here, if you will, that, champions the Lakers, champions basketball, the sport itself. And, of course, if you like the Lakers, a very good chance that you're also a big Kobe Bryant fan, like myself as well. And so definitely, if you feel comfortable, leave, your favorite Kobe memories, how you're feeling in the comments as well. This could definitely be a time for all of us to really kind of cope with the loss 5 years after it happened in 2020, and really kind of the start of when it felt like the world really changed. This was kind of like the tip of the iceberg for what was to come throughout the rest of that year. So I'll talk a little bit about myself. I don't normally talk about me on this channel. I talk more so about the game, maybe what I think about the game, what I think about what the Lakers can do and things like that. But I don't typically talk about me, Hunter Pitcoff, so much. So I'm from Long Island, New York. I am not from Los Angeles. I'm not from the West Coast. This is definitely Knicks town. The Nets do exist, but guys, if you live in New York or in the area, no one really cares too much about the Nets. This is definitely Knicks town for sure. And so you're probably like, all right, Hunter, how the hell did you become a Los Angeles Lakers fan? So I didn't really grow up in a big sports family. Most people become fans of their teams because their parents were fans, their siblings, the community. Like, I didn't really have that, since no one in my family really loves sports the way I do. So that's why I'm a fan of a bunch of random teams across all sports across the country. And so for basketball, I got into basketball when I was in, like, elementary school. I'd probably say around 8-ish years old, like 3rd-ish grade was probably when I really started to get into basketball. And so it's going to probably age me a little bit, but that was about the early, mid-2000s was probably when I started to really like basketball. And at that time, this is post-Shaq and Kobe days where they got the three-peat, but pre-Pau Gasol days when he came and the Lakers went to 3 straight NBA Finals, went back-to-back, being the Magic, being the Celtics. And so this was kind of like that weird transitional period for Kobe where he was really trying to find his identity, really being the true alpha, and really learning to be a leader of this team. But Kobe Bryant, at least in my opinion, and some others as well, was kind of before LeBron really, really hit his peak, was probably the best basketball player in the NBA over that time. Just my opinion. People can disagree. And so I was obviously gravitated towards him because of what he was doing on the basketball court, like many people were, right? But it was how he got to that position as an elementary school kid my age from, again, Long Island, New York, no Los Angeles ties at all, that really kind of drew my attention to Kobe. how he became, for me, he's my GOAT. But, that's just on some personal, I'm probably biased, that's fair. But, like, how he got there was what inspired me to take that mindset, that Mamba mentality, that work ethic, and translate it into basketball, and not even just basketball and sports, but to really every single aspect of my life. Like, I embrace that. Like, people always kind of joke to me, like, oh, like, you're all like a little Kobe because, I always was wearing Laker gear. I was wearing, Kobe gear all the time. So, I had that. I tried to play like him. Really, the way he was stealing Jordan's moves was the same way I was stealing his moves, except I definitely did not reach up to that level of basketball player, but that's okay. But, it gave me something to strive for, and really at that time, it's funny because people that know me now personally know that I kind of have like a delusional level of self-confidence in myself that I think I can do anything if I really put my mind to it. And so that's kind of how Kobe was too. He was someone who truly believed that he can do anything that he put the work in and set his mind to. And there was no reason to believe that he couldn't, because we'll pull up on here as well just some of the accomplishments that he was able to pull off. I mean, he had so many. And you guys, I'm sure if you're listening, you like the Lakers, you like basketball, you know a lot of this. But maybe if you're new and maybe you're not a super big basketball savant, 5 NBA titles, 2 Finals MVPs, 18 All-Star games, 4th all-time on the NBA scoring list, was 3rd when he retired. Of course, LeBron passed him. 2 Olympic gold medals, 12 All-NBA defensive teams, 15 All-NBA teams, and, of course, 81 points in a freaking basketball game, which is the second most in NBA history. A couple guys have gotten close to those 70-pointers, but outside of Will Chamberlain's 100, at least in modern basketball, this is, it was the highest scoring game in NBA history caught on camera. Maybe we'll just say that. And so, Kobe did things that just were unimaginable. And the way he played the game, and I think his wife, Vanessa, probably says this better and knows him better than anybody else on this planet does. Her saying that Kobe, playing through all the injuries, playing through all the adversity stuff he was dealing with, we're all human at the end of the day. Kobe really kind of seemed like a superhero. She said that Kobe always tried his absolute hardest to play in every single game he could, because he knew that there was somebody in the stands that had not ever seen him play before. And you really kind of think about that and put it in perspective, especially in today's NBA where guys are resting and sitting and things like that. Like, how many guys are really putting their livelihood on the line like that every single night and playing their absolute hardest anymore? There's not a lot. There's far and few between. And there's not really many players, even in NBA history, that had that level of dedication that Kobe Bryant did. And I believe there is not a single player in NBA history who got more out of their career than he did, right? You hear the stories in the Olympics where, they talk about how the team is coming back from, a night partying. It's 3, 4 a.m. Kobe's going to the gym. Kobe's working while you're sleeping, and he's working out at 4 a.m. so he can bring his daughters to school and pick them up. And he works out in between so he can pick them up from school. And he took pride in being the first parent on like the the bus line to go pick up his kids. Like, Kobe took that dedication not just on the basketball court, but he did it in every single aspect of his life. So, I mean, we'll talk about this too, because I don't want to, for this point to be lost. But obviously, in that helicopter crash, we know Kobe Bryant, his daughter Gianna as well. But there's 7 others as they were flying on Kobe's personal helicopter to go to, I believe, is a travel game. So Kobe Bryant, Gianna Bryant, John Altobelli, Carrie Altobelli, their daughter, Alyssa Altobelli, as well as Sarah Chester, Peyton Chester, Christina Mauser, and Ara Zobayan as well, the pilot of the incident. So, it's a tough day, especially for the Los Angeles community as well, dealing with what you guys have had to deal with so far in 2025 with the wildfires. And guys, if you have any spare change at all, definitely be sure to, send money to either like the American Red Cross or any of these Salvation Army, any of these local organizations as well. As they continue to recover from that, we have to, deal with this loss as well. On the 5-year anniversary, it definitely kind of, hits really different, for a lot of people here. And, for me personally, like, I think, after I kind of realized I probably wasn't going to go to the NBA, I kind of had to, like, shift my mindset and figure out what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. And you can maybe even argue I'm still doing that. But as much as I loved basketball, I also loved, like, just watching basketball as well and really, appreciating basketball for what it's worth. And so I was like, I can do this. I'm going to go in front of a camera and talk about basketball and talk about football. I'm a big football guy too. And so I ended up going to Penn State. I was the single worst kid. I'm telling you, the single worst kid when I walked through those doors in terms of broadcasting. Like, that's how I truly felt. And at the same time, though, there was something in me that I was like, I need to be great at this, because I this is what I want to work towards, and this is what I want to strive for, and I want to be the absolute best. So I had to put on my Kobe mask and really bring that Mamba mentality to really kind of help propel myself, not only play catch-up, but end up passing these kids as well, with all due respect. A lot of them are very dear friends and family of mine at this point. But, like, that was the mentality I had. The same mentality that Kobe taught me how to play basketball with, I used that to do broadcasting with. And now, it's not the biggest platform in the world. We're getting there. We're building the community up. But since I started here in August of 2024, now I get to talk about the Lakers, and I get paid to do it, which is pretty freaking sick. For someone like me who got into the Lakers, again, I live in Long Island, New York, because of Kobe. That is why I picked up a ball. He's the reason why. He's the reason my personality changed because of him, and for the better. I learned how to really fight through adversity, how to be the hardest competitor every single time I play basketball. Like, I competed, and I use that mentality in everything I do in my life. And I'm sure a lot of you guys that listen are inspired by Kobe also do the same. So that's what makes this loss, extra difficult. And being 5 years, it's just kind of like a milestone mark. 5 years, 5 championships, also for Kobe as well. So this is a very, very tough day. And so, I wanted to make sure you guys knew that this is a community here. You guys are always like, oh, you guys just talk about trades and stuff. I mean, we talk about everything here on Lakers Digest. Some of our titles are to draw people in that aren't familiar with our content. That's why we, have what we do and we frame it. And we have a really good research team here at Digest Media that knows certain words, certain phrases that really kind of help bring people in. But once you're in, guys, like, you're in, right? So I'm letting you know that, like, we are here for you guys. And again, I'll say it again, definitely if you feel comfortable leaving a comment or anything like that. If you are not new to the channel, this is typically not the structure of our videos. It's just me straight up talking, and typically we show a lot of different stuff here and there. But, I wanted this to really kind of feel like an open forum for us today. And really every day, because for me personally, like, there's not a day that goes by that I don't think about Kobe. And I'm sure a lot of you guys are probably in the same boat as me with that. So, and if a lot of you guys are, probably around my age, I'm 25. I don't know if that dates me or not, but, you probably grew up watching Kobe. He played for 20 years. So, he played for a big portion of my life. Started playing in 96. So literally from the day I was born to 2016, he was playing basketball. So a tough day, guys. Really tough day for the Laker community, for the Lakers Digest community, for the NBA community, and really the world community. As again, I will show their names one more time here as well, because I do not want it to be lost that everybody on this list lost their lives that day. It wasn't just Kobe. Everybody lost not only lost like a role model, a hero, but, they lost a friend, a father, a mom, a sister, a brother. They lost, a cousin, a coworker, whatever it might be, neighbor, all those, people's lives are equally as important as Kobe. And I hope that those families that were affected, they can better tell their stories as well, just because I don't know them personally. So I'm sure that, they were all equally, awesome, great people as well. Just an absolute tragic incident. And again, one that you just kind of remember where you were when it happened. And so, obviously we'll continue to give you guys coverage on everything surrounding your Lakers. The games, different rumors that are out there, reports, because I promise you guys, like, the same way Kobe gave his absolute all to the game of basketball and to being a dad, like, that's what we want to do here on Lakers Digest. We want to have that same Mamba mentality, and we go as hard as we possibly can. All of us work full-time jobs outside of this too, to really give you guys, everything surrounding your Los Angeles Lakers here. Typically I don't sound like this. I'm trying my absolute hardest not to absolutely break down, but, here we are, and, we have these tough, difficult conversations, and I promise you guys, especially from the LA community, and you're dealing with the wildfires right now too, we are here for you guys. We appreciate your support, and we're here to support you guys too during a difficult day.